Hello and welcome back to Strange Antiquities. Today I will be playing through days 12, 13, and 14 in the game. There are supposed to be 18 days total and then a 19th epilogue day. So I am more than halfway through the game. Let's see what happens next. Here's my shop. I have identified several of the objects. It would have been very helpful if my boss Eli had labeled everything before he left. But he didn't, so it's left to me to try to figure out what everything is. Let's pet the kitty. Jupiter is the kitty's name. And we are working our way through a village catastrophe of some kind, of some occult nature. We are in the town of Undermere, and Undermere is beset by dark tidings. Oh, the mailman's arrived. Hopefully he'll have a letter. I've been hearing a worrying rumor about Verona Green. They're saying she drowned in the lake. I hope for all our sakes they're wrong. Right! Someone had come in and said they found a middle-aged woman drowned in the lake, and I was afraid it was Verona. Oh no. I've been waiting for Barton Potter to show up and tell me how to fill this spirit vault with a spirit so I can descend further into the catacombs and solve this clue. Maybe this will be a letter from him. No, MBM. According to family legend, an ancestor of mine hid an item of thaumic significance in his burial chamber. It has never been found, but not for lack of trying. I was tempted to search for it myself until I learned that it was in the catacombs in a place known as the Hall of Shields. Perhaps it's better to leave it to those who know what they're doing. Regards, MBM. I don't know if I know who that is. This has most of the characters in the game, but not all of the characters in the game. There's Barton Potter. Anybody with the initials MBM? Nope, and that's my boss. Well, the Hall of Shields sounds like it's in the catacombs for sure. And let's see if we can figure out where the Hall of Shields would be. Probably right here. The wall is covered with shields. I can pull out my magnifying glass by hitting shift. That's definitely a wall of shields. Let's check it out. Yeah, okay, this has happened before. I've entered an area known as the Depths. And the only way that I can get out of there would be to inhale the vapors produced by a spirit called a wandering shroud. That's this thing. There's a spirit vault that holds a wandering shroud, but it doesn't have a wandering shroud inside of it. Yeah, I've written to Barton Potter. He will know where to find a wandering shroud. Okay. So I can't go any further into the catacombs. I was able to search this area up here and find a few things, but I can't go further down. Like, I've got a clue that's leading me to go down here and now down here, and I can't do that until we get that wandering shroud. Alright, let's ring the bell, start the day. Nancy Irwin. Ooh, she does not look good. I've done something quite stupid. I went exploring in Heath Wood and came across a grave. It was overgrown with dark brambles, so I started to clear them to get a better look at the inscription. I wasn't as careful as I should have been. The thorns were thick and menacing, and I scratched my arm on one of them. I have not felt well since. Please help me. Oh, we don't know what she needs. We've got to figure out how to draw out some poison. Well, this is an antidote to poison. The Bones Guard, but I don't know if that's what she needs. A Bones Guard can be placed in a liquid to render it safe to drink, but I don't know if that's going to help draw the poison out that's already in her body. I think we had this thing, a shadow hold. Hang on, maybe that's what we need. Oceanic vessel is a container that can contain an oceanic spirit, a manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling it from the shadows like poison from a wound. Well, let's look in the index under poison. Yeah, a shadow hold. I don't think a Bones Guard is going to do it. Or disease. There's the Vesiger. It can be used to prevent the spread of disease and pestilence. But it's not necessarily going to draw it out. But that's assuming she has been contaminated with an oceanic spirit. So maybe the Vesiger. I'm gonna try this. I might be wrong. Yep, I am wrong. Alright, well, my next guess was the shadow hold. And I'm wrong about that too. I've got to be careful or I'm going to go insane. I can't be wrong again. A lamb's siphon is used to reverse the effects of a black heart curse. Oh, right. Let's look at our curse book. Veins stand out darkly on the body. Yeah, okay. I bet it's the lamb's siphon, and I bet I know which one it is. It's made of a dried seed pod of a sheep snap plant. I bet it's this thing. I hope I'm right. The spherical part of the item clearly resembles the seed pod of the sheep snap plant. We get some more pages to go in our book. And hopefully she will be cured. But now we know this is a lamb's siphon. Thaddeus White. Oh, he's the last dude in our character menu there. You don't know me, but it's time I introduced myself. I am the curator of the Museum of History here in Undermere. Eli and I have a complicated relationship. Don't all siblings? Oh, you're Eli's brother. I don't tend to come by the shop much anymore, but I heard he had left town for a few days. I wanted to bring him this, but I know he'd only turn me away without even looking at it. What is it? Ooh, that's pretty. Let's investigate. It looks like it's made out of gold, wood, and some kind of stone. Green gemstone, maybe malachite. It takes great effort to tear my eyes away. Ooh. Well, let's put it up here with the other unidentified objects. And let's read about Thaddeus White. As the curator of Undermere's Museum of History, Thaddeus is a collector of artifacts and curiosities from around the world. He has an eye for the rare and the unusual and enjoys telling the world's unheard stories through his collection. Over the years, he has also amassed a collection of items he does not put out on display. These are items that it would be best the public did not know about. They are known as dark articles. Ooh. And now we have all of the characters. We have met all of the people. There's lots of customers who come in, and they don't go into this little menu of characters here, but I don't know if these are characters that also appeared in the previous game, Strange Horticulture, or if they're just characters that will continue to reappear throughout the rest of the story, and so they're in here for reference. Simone Green is back. Jupiter, thank goodness you're safe. I was worried about you. I hope my mother is okay too. Yeah, me too. I've lost count of the amount of gossip I've heard about her misdeeds over the years. Well, you should go down and check out that body at the lake. The truth is, when she gets stuck into a mystery, she's been known to disappear for days at a time. I mean, wouldn't her daughter be able to identify her body? In the meantime, I believe I've found another clue in the journal. The text directly before this is largely illegible, but I was able to make out a reference to a vault of some kind. Three resonant objects, lightest first, heaviest last. Three resonant objects. It doesn't look like it's part of this same scrap here, because this is torn off on this side and this is torn off on the bottom. But we have these three pedestals here, and when I place various objects on them, we unlock new areas of the shop and I find more objects. Are they talking about thalmic fields? Can they be any three objects? I've got this lens that shows me the fields. But I don't know if that means they're resonant, because this doesn't say anything about resonance. Do they mean objects that make sound? Like this one? Alright, well, we'll have to try to figure out that mystery another time. Let's continue and see if we maybe get more information that will help us. Francesca Robertson is back. She's the doctor. I got a fright when they brought the body of that poor drowned woman to me with those lifeless black eyes. I thought for sure it was Verona at first. She does look like her, but we're quite certain it's a lady from Hawkshead who went missing a few days ago. There's one thing I can't get out of my head, though. Why would she try and swim across the lake? And in the meantime, Verona is still missing. I don't like to use thalmic needles as a rule, but the circumstances are beyond the rule book. We need answers. Okay. Now, there's this weird curse in the town where people's eyes are turning black. And I think when it first happened, she told me that the guy that had it happen to them, his eyes had gone black, like the eyeballs themselves, I guess. Not that he had black eyes, like from being punched. But she said it seemed like he was looking for something. I remember her saying that. It seemed like he was searching for something. So I think what it is that these people are being possessed, and then they're being drawn to that casket that the priestess talked about. And she said the casket of Holgar was going to be opened. Let's look up Holgar here. Yeah, Holgar. He's this deity that they worship, and he's not a nice guy. He's a nasty guy, actually. Some kind of deity of war and death or something. And she was saying that his casket was going to be opened or something, and his vengeance or his anger or hatred or something was going to be released. So maybe these people are being possessed, and they're trying to get to the casket so they can open it. We need to stop them. But alright, in the meantime, we gotta find a thalmic needle. What is that? Thalmic needles are controversial items that are rarely used. They can reach into the mind of the recently deceased to give an impression of their thoughts before they died. Curiously, the weight of these tall items decreases when heated. Okay, I think I know what we can do. Tall items that I haven't identified. This is pretty tall. But what we would have to do is we'd have to weigh it. And then heat it while we're weighing it. Alright, if its weight decreases when we heat it, then it should start going up. Maybe when we wave a candle. Yeah, look. When it gets warm, its weight... Okay, this is it. This has got to be it. That's got to be it. It's a tall item, and using my weighing scales and a candle, I can confirm that its weight does indeed reduce when heated. For some reason. Some magical reason. Audrey Bell is back. That's the priestess. The people are afraid, and they are right to be, but it is too late for them. They are of no use to us, but you might be. Prove yourself, and perhaps Holgar will deem you worth saving. I require an object to steady my restless congregation and remind them why I am the one to lead us through this turbulent time. They respect strength and power above all else. Morgan's Folly or Fortinance. Yeah, I don't like her, and I don't want to help her. I mean, if they're this weird cult that's worshipping some kind of evil deity, well, they're trying to say he's not evil, he's just powerful and strong and scary. But, yeah. I don't want to help her. But we have two options here. We have Morgan's Folly. Let's see what that is. A folly's symbol can be revealed to induce a trance-like state in anyone who casts their eye upon it, making them open to suggestibility. Precautions should be taken against unwittingly looking upon the hidden symbol for too long. Okay, that's probably this thing over here. Because when I opened it up and I looked at it, it was making my head swim. Yeah, so they're keeping it hidden until it's useful. That's probably the Morgan's Folly. So let's see what the Fortinance is. A Fortinance can enhance physical strength or restore strength that has been sapped, whether by exertion or by hex. They are made of stone or iron and usually take the form of a small totem. I'm going to give her that because I don't want her to have, like, the power of suggestibility over her whole congregation. Well, there aren't a lot of items that I haven't identified. Maybe it's an object that I haven't collected yet? I've got this clue here. Below a moon that does not shine, there is no mark upon my shrine. In the dark, but not alone, my neighbor bears a cross of stone. But I can't get down there without using something that allows me to breathe. Oh, wait a minute. There's another moon over here. Oh, this is it right here, isn't it? I was thinking it was this one. And it wouldn't let me go down to this one. But I never got a letter from Barton Potter. That was it. I was wondering why it was taking so many days to hear back from Barton Potter. I find the blank tombstone without too much trouble, but there is nothing else here. Feeling foolish, I begin to make my way back to the surface when suddenly I see it, tucked away in a natural crack in the rock wall, a stone totem. This is what I came for. Well, they're calling this a totem. Maybe this is the Fortinance. Because I was looking through all the other items that I hadn't identified yet, and none of them seemed to fit the description. So I was thinking I needed to go back to that unsolved clue from several days ago. Well, what is it, like 3 or 4 days ago? It's stone or iron. Is this stone or iron? Yes, it is. Okay. And what's this symbol on it? Let's look in our symbology book just to confirm. Is that the symbol of truth? Strength. It's the symbol of strength. Yeah, okay. That's what we want. I don't want to give her the Morgan's Folly because that just sounds like a bad idea. I don't trust her. Of course, I don't necessarily want to make her strong either, but I don't want her putting everyone into a trance-like state. Yeah, I'm gonna give her the Fortinance. It bears the symbol of strength and it's made of stone. Okay. We have another page. And she's happy. Okay, get out of here, lady. Let's put this up here with all of the stone totems. Alright, well, before we call it a day, I want to examine this again. 3 resonant objects, lightest first, heaviest last. Well, we can weigh things on our scale, but how do we know what a resonant object is? I don't know if I've heard anything about resonance. Let's see if it's in the index. Resonant? Well, there's a resonance compass and a zephyrim. What's the zephyrim? These resonant objects give off a faint odor that will be familiar to any thaumaturge. It is the scent of the storm, of ozone and power, the scent of magic. When these vapors are inhaled deeply, they can unlock deep wells of anger and channel them into a powerful maelstrom. This is the power of the west wind. Ooh. Okay. Well, what's the... Resonance compass. A resonance compass will point toward nearby resonant objects, the only objects that can be detected in this way. Resonant objects are highly prized, both by thaumaturges and those who collect occult curiosities. Okay, so it's more than just... We have that compass, though, don't we? It's more than just objects that give off a thaumic field, because, like, all these objects give off a thaumic field. And so I was thinking that meant that all of these objects were resonant, but no, resonance is something different, apparently. Okay. So I was messing with this compass before, and it was pointing towards this object here. So that must be a resonant object. Let's see how much it weighs. Well, I don't know if it matters how much it weighs, but how much it weighs compared to whatever other resonant objects we can find. Alright, so it weighs 1 pound. So I'm guessing we're going to find objects that weigh a ½ pound, 1 pound, and 2 pounds. So maybe this one goes in the center. That's my guess, but we're not done yet. Let's see if there are any other resonant objects. This one seems to be resonant. Let's see what it weighs. Nope, that's way too much. It weighs about a ½ pound. Well, it certainly weighs less than this one, so let's put it there. Put that one there. Alright, let's see if we can find another resonant object. That must be it there. I'm guessing this one weighs 2 pounds. Yeah. So let's put it there. And that's opened a new area of the shop. This looks like a puzzle. Okay. I doubt it'll be this. That's not doing anything. We probably need to figure out exactly which buttons should be pushed. Now, it's got a moon right here, and there's a moon here. Let's see if we can make the moon the same. Oh, something went clickety-clack. I heard a clickety-clack. There we go. Now it matches this one. But that doesn't necessarily tell us which pattern we need to push down these buttons. Oh, wait. Hang on. Let's bring out the magnifying glass. There's dots like stars around it. Is that the pattern that we have to push? The dots? But they don't seem to line up. There's that little spider. The clock is frozen. Maybe we have to set them to the points where the 3 hands are pointing. So here at 11 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 4 o'clock. That worked! A hidden sanctum. Open a vault. We did it. And by we, I guess I mean me and Jupiter. Ooh, this is the symbol on the loading screen. This part is painted black and gold. It feels unusual. Not hot exactly, but energetic somehow. I can't tell if that low hum is coming from the item or my own imagination. There's definitely something unusual about this item. I can't quite put my finger on it though. Okay, but we're taking it, right? We're definitely taking it. Is there anything else to do here? I don't think there is. I think we did what we came to do and got what we came to get. Wow. Oh, it's giving off that thalamic pattern like this. The diurnic field pattern. And we've got a check mark on this, so we're done with that. We can put that away. Because we solved it. But what are we supposed to do with this now that we have it? Maybe we haven't received the page in the book that would explain what this even is yet. Maybe we weren't really meant to find it yet. I just kind of jumped the gun. Alright, let's end day 12 and see what dreams may come. The writer's partner was less fortunate. They found his frozen body a week later. This is part of a storyline that I think is explaining what happened to Barton Potter that made him lose his eye and caused somebody's dad to die. I can't remember her name. But she kept coming in asking me for a way to help her kill Barton Potter because she wanted to get back at him for getting her father killed. I think that's what this story is telling, but I'm not sure yet. I have not confirmed. But we are gonna drag and trace the next clue. Is this the outline of a bearded man? Zeus, maybe? Jupiter? I am marked by Jupiter. Ooh. Well, Jupiter is the name of my cat. So it could be cat scratches? Or do they mean the mark of Jupiter? Which I think, I don't know if it's in the symbology book. Here, this symbol for 10 is the symbol of Jupiter. This is an astrology symbol, like actually used in real life astrology. I am marked by Jupiter. All right. Now it's got this little compass on it, so we probably need to go exploring. I don't know if I've seen any marks astrology symbols on this map, but I have seen them on the Gleaston Castle map. And see, there's the mark of Jupiter there. I don't know if I've seen anything in the catacombs with that mark. Let's do a quick look around just to make sure that I'm not confusing it with something else. Like thinking that this was the grave I needed when I actually needed this one over here. I don't see any marks of Jupiter, so I'm thinking it's this room right here. Yep. The mark of Jupiter on my map leads me to a square room on the ground floor. Other than an intriguing torn note, there doesn't seem to be anything of interest until I notice that the bookshelf is mounted on a runner and can slide to one side. I push it and it glides easily, revealing a hidden recess in the wall behind it. Ooh. We found a pendant and maybe the other half of that torn note. Let's take a look at the pendant. It looks like it's got an onyx stone, black gemstone, and bronze snakes. Okay. Yeah, if we look in our gemology book, the black stone with white striations is onyx, a stone of the night and of darkness. There are some who fear it and some who are seduced by it. Alright, well, let's put it up here. Can we hang it with all of the unidentified pendants? Getting kind of crowded up there. And let's take this down here and line it up with this one. The castle vaults are blocked by a diurnic seal. It can be opened by any object made from silver or gold that produces a diurnic field. The castle vaults are blocked. I know that there's vaults because I've seen the "to the vaults" thing here before, and I remember at the time saying, "Can I go into the vaults? That looks cool." Let's go. The vaults are blocked by a large iron door. It has no handle or keyhole, and it does not give in the slightest when I push against it. I realize that it has been thaumically sealed, and that's not much help. It's not clear what I need to open it. Well, I know what you need to open it. You need an object made from silver or gold that produces a diurnic field. And I believe there's an object of both silver and gold. Is that a diurnic field? Here's how we know for sure, alright? You ready? The diurnic looks like this. The diurnic symbol. So what we do is we go here and we make that diurnic symbol. I believe that's it. Hang on. Let's make sure. Alright, so the diurnic symbol. Okay, no. I think I just made the mentic. It's big circle, little circle inside the bigger circle. Okay, let's move this up. And it's that, okay. That's it. And I think that's also in our paper here. Yeah, diurnic field pattern. Okay. I didn't have to go to all that trouble then, did I? But yeah, if you can recreate these patterns using this lens, it'll tell you what that field is. This is the diurnic field. All right, so that's what we want. And that's not what this is. Okay. We have to find an object with a diurnic field. Ooh, that's a diurnic field, isn't it? I believe it is. So let's use it. No. Should slow down and think about this more carefully. But it had a diurnic field. Oh, it wasn't made of silver or gold. That was my problem. Where'd it go? Here it is. Yeah, look. I'm a dum-dum. It's made of bronze. Okay. My bad. My bad. Hang on. Oh, this has a diurnic field. And it's made of gold. Let's try this. There, that worked. The door slides open without a sound, as though it has been kept well oiled over the years. Behind it, I find a large natural cavern that extends into the rock beneath the castle. Somewhat disappointingly, the walls are lined with racks of whiskey bottles instead of the rows of artifacts that I was picturing. When I show Edmund, he is delighted, and he spends some time examining the dusty shelves. It is not long before he makes a find that I'm surprised I missed. I return to the shop with a spring in my step and a curious item that demands further study. Ooh. I believe these are the seasons. Winter and summer and spring and fall. Let's look at the symbols. Oh, yep, there it was. Yeah, winter is the snowflake, summer is the sun, spring is a leaf, and autumn is the acorn. Okay. Oh, it's not a pendant. I thought it would be a pendant. Alright, well, let's put it over here for now. And there's a letter. The bishop's square is a simple tool of my great-great-grandfather's devising, loosely based on a briar's disc. By all accounts, he was an impressive man, but it would seem his mind began to fail him at the end. Perhaps he spent too long studying his Zia. He imagined invisible enemies coming to steal away his most prized possessions, so he began hiding them about the castle, noting their locations in a code that only he understood. Briar's disc. Do we know what a briar's disc is? No, we do not. And it's not mentioned in here either. Okay, so is that note telling me that this is a bishop's square? Maybe it's a decoder kind of thing to help us decode something. Let's look at the map. Does this line up with something on the map? Because there's a lot of these circles. And they seem to be the same size as these holes. Mars in winter, rising in summer. Because if that's winter and that's Mars, rising in summer, what does that mean? The kitchens? I mean, I'm just guessing. I'm putting Mars, the symbol for Mars, in the winter slot. And then it says rising in summer. And if this is summer... Smells and sounds of cooking greet me as I enter the castle kitchens. I feel a little foolish as I try to avoid the cook's glares while following the clues left to me by a mad old man. Yeah, what was I thinking? I'm not going to find anything here. And yet, on the exact spot where the map leads me, there is something. A floorboard that has been cut and replaced. With a little difficulty, I lift it up and feel around in the cavity below before my fingers grasp something hard. Oh, so I did find something. Hidden knowledge. Use the bishop's square. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I was right. Oh, that's cool. Little stone guy. Black substance. Soot, perhaps. So he was put like in on an altar or a fire or something. Hard and cool. Chalky black residue that coats my fingertips. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. Okay. Oh, nice. Well, let's put that over here. With the bishop's square. There's no check mark on it, so maybe we're not done with it yet. Wow, we have just been doing so much puzzle solving. Yeah, like this one has a check mark on it, so we can put that away. Does this one have a check? Yeah, that has a check too. Okay, so let's put these in the archive. Because we don't need those anymore. But I still can't get into the burial chamber. Because it's in this room of shields here. Yeah. And I'm waiting to hear from Barton Potter to get in there. Oh, that's so cool. All right, well, let's get on with day 13. James Herschel. I can't say too much, but it has fallen to me to carry a secret that people would kill for, that people have killed for. Uh-oh. It's a lot of weight to carry around in my head, and it's getting harder to bear around certain family members. It occurred to me that it would be safer in an ecumenical. Okay. I was just reading about ecumenicals. A receptacle featuring a memento mori. A memento mori is like a skull or something that says, you know, remember you too will die. I think that's what memento mori means. Remember death. A memory cannot reside in both the mind and the ecumenical at the same time, and it cannot be stored indefinitely. When a memory has been left for long periods, it can emit unpleasant vapors. An actual empty ecumenical, on the other hand, has an ominous presence pulling at the threads of one's mind. There's a coffin shape on here. So I'm wondering if it is this thing. But it doesn't have a smell, and it's not pulling at my mind. And I wouldn't call this a memento mori. This is a pendant that we saw being worn by that deity, Holgar, or whatever his name was. We've got this Holgan Grimm down here. Coffin, skull, hourglass. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Maybe this? It's got an hourglass on it. An unpleasant sensation at the back of my skull. Yeah, it's tugging at me. I bet that's it. The hourglass says, remember that time passes. We all have a limited amount of sand in our hourglass. That's it. There's an hourglass motif on the box, a memento mori. On closer inspection, it produces an unpleasant sensation, suggesting it is empty. Ooh, we got a page about a shadow anchor. Used in the art of projecting one's presence outside of the body. So astral projection? Interesting. Alright, good luck with that, dude. Oh, maybe we'll finally get a letter from Barton Potter. People are getting restless. The followers of Holgar have been marching through the streets with that crazed priest at their head. Not long ago, that sort of behavior wouldn't have been tolerated in Undermere. Now there are people joining in. Thanks for the update, Mr. McFeely. In answer to your question... Oh, finally a letter from Barton! In answer to your question, yes, it is possible to capture a wandering shroud. To the north of town, if you follow the little stream up through the woods, you'll come out at a hilltop that was clearly of some ancient significance. It is not uncommon to see wandering shrouds there. Be patient, be still, and they will come. Your friend Barton. Alright. Well, let's go explore. Alright, north of town. I'm assuming this is the stream here. Oh, that's what she was talking about when she said she was walking up the beck. I think it was, which lady is her name? Verona? This lady here. Yeah, Verona Green, who's gone missing. She had talked about walking up the beck, and I was like, what are you talking about? What is the beck? But okay, that's the beck. It's a little river. So there would be restless ancient spirits here. Let's try it. After a pleasant walk along the beck, I reach a series of grassy mounds, the barrows. Whoever is buried in them must have been important in their time. If I am to collect what I have come for, I will need to be prepared. Okay, well, we've got the spirit vault. Closer inspection reveals its pungent smell. I sit and wait, quietly and patiently, not certain exactly what I'm looking for. For some time, nothing happens. And then, long after my mind has drifted towards a warm fire and a hearty supper, I notice a movement in the corner of my eye. A strange, thin mist has formed near one of the barrows. It seems to produce a sort of dark light, a contradiction that my eyes have trouble perceiving clearly. The ethereal creature, for surely this is a creature of some kind, ambles towards the vault that I have left out for this purpose, and I daren't breathe as it slowly nestles itself within the receptacle. But you're going to have to breathe it in, though, because that's how these things work. Alright, so now we have our filled spirit vault. Alright, so now if I go to the catacombs, I should be able to get into these lower chambers. Alright, this one's finished, so we can put that one away. Yeah, it's got a little check mark, so let's get rid of it. Get it out of my face. This is the one that we're trying to follow up on. It says, the Hall of Shields. So, that's a room full of shields. Alright, I keep trying to go down into the lower parts of the catacombs, and I finally can now, I think. As I descend further into the catacombs, a strange sensation comes over me, not fear. With cold clarity, I know at once I have entered the area known as the depths, from which few have returned. There's a way. Slate miners inhale the vapors produced by a spirit called a wandering shroud. They say it invigorates their senses and stays the mind rot that would otherwise consume them. It would be dangerous to continue exploring down here without following their lead. Alright, we have a filled spirit vault. Let's use it. I breathe deeply from the spirit vault and it clears my mind. I don't care to linger too long down here, but I forge on until I reach the unmistakable Hall of Shields. A stone sarcophagus sits on a raised portion of rock in the center of the cavern. I hold the torch close to better see the inscription on the side of the tomb, and it reads, "The sun's light will reveal my gift." Mystified, I cast my eye up to the walls of the cavern and search the shields for some other clue, but nothing stands out. Let's look. Well, I see some chevrons and some crosses and several fleurs-de-lis. There's a big flower in the center there. The sun's light will reveal my gift. Okay, so let's look. I believe very early in the game I had to give somebody an item that would allow them to take the light of the sun with them. Sun. Yeah, there's a pit and there's a sun bond. I don't think I've discovered what this is yet, but sun bond. Small and lightweight. You can carry the warmth and the light of the sun. Alright. And this is the sun bond. Let's use this. The sun bond banishes the darkness in an instant, half blinding my gloom-adjusted eyes and bringing summer's warmth to the cold cavern. Blinking and squinting, I notice that one of the shields in particular is glowing in the bright light. I reach up and pull the shield down to reveal a small cavity hewn into the rock behind it. Inside is a blood-red urn. Oh! I don't know if I like the look of that. Let's examine it. Red clay. The eyes appear to be small green gemstones. Warm and smooth. I find it unsettling. The eyes seem to pierce my soul. Well, the serpent is associated with the worshippers of that Holgar deity. Over here. You guys see, like, there's a serpent ring there on those fingers of the Amphibian talon. Oh, okay. Maybe the Amphibian heart people aren't associated with the Holgar guy. Yeah, because if we look up Holgar... Oh, he doesn't have any serpents. James Herschel. Oh, you're back. I think I've seen you before. I got to thinking after I left earlier. Yeah? Transferring this secret to an ecumenical only adds an extra step. Yes, it's safer than walking around with it in my head, but I would know where to find it. What I really need is a truth conduit so that I can deceive them into thinking I know nothing at all. Okay. I'm not really happy about being party to deception, but... These items are used by tricksters and swindlers. They do not warrant the designation of dark article. They can be used maliciously. The gentle sound they produce anchors the mind as the spell is woven, combining symbology with a deeper, more primitive power. Well, this item here makes a soft tinkling sound, and I'm pretty sure that's the rune of deception there. Let's look. Yep, there it is. So that's got to be it. A truth conduit. And so what exactly does that do? Used by tricksters and swindlers. When I first found that item, I said I really liked it. I thought it was cute. That's the rogue in me. Always playing a rogue in other games. Alright, I'm gonna use that. Identified. It bears a symbol of deception and it has a gentle sound. Yes. And we have another page for the book. And we've identified another item. I'm trying to keep the items I haven't identified close at hand here and clustered together so that I can more easily just go straight to those now that I've you know, ruled out everything else. Evelyn Bennett. I have never felt more tired or more devoid of life. Oh no. An apathy has settled in my bones that I do not seem able to shift. But while I still have breath in my lungs, I will not succumb without a fight. By the grace of Grey, I will find a way forward. Well, we have a Grey's grace here. Is that a hint? It dispels melancholy. Alright, she already said by the grace of Grey, so let's give her a Grey's grace. Yeah, this one's already been identified. It's a beautiful pendant. I would wear one of those. That's so pretty. Alright, we're done with this one. Let's put it in the archive. It's got a little check mark on it. This one does not have a check mark though. Is Zia. I don't know what a Zia is. Maybe if we study the Zia or identify the Zia, we can find out more. Worn about the neck to place it closer to the heart, so it's probably a pendant. They instill a sense of fear and paranoia. Zias are made of any single material except wood or clay. They have no symbol or other writings on their surface. Why would he want to study his Zia? I have a strong sense of being watched. Well, if a Zia instills a sense of paranoia, that could be the Zia right there. Possibly. I'm gonna write Zia. Question mark. Okay, well, the ram, if that is his Zia, if that's a hint, the ram is ruled by Mars and by the sun, but rising in summer. I don't know if that means anything at all. This was a mistake. Okay. Oh no. Oh, we don't want to make mistakes like that. It'll drive us insane. Okay. Well, let's not just do random searching then. Ooh, okay. I mean, I've done some random exploration on the city map, and it was never a problem. But apparently, we don't want to go poking around at the castle and driving ourselves insane. All right. Whoosh. Oh, Barton Potter showed up. I've had a tip-off about something exciting. Have you come across the so-called nameless gods? Did you also know that the tall stones that you sometimes find in high places were once doorways of a kind? Tall stones. And here's the exciting part. An inscription has appeared on the stone that sits atop Wetherlam. You mean like the standing stones? Like Stonehenge and stuff? This is where you come in. I'm confident that a pit will open the doorway. The other option is a Babilia to read the inscription, but they say that if you read the language of the nameless gods, you become cursed, which I can't say I like the sound of. I'm leaning toward the more direct approach, but then again, that could be dangerous too. So do I give him a pit or a Babilia? Can I ask him about these dreams or stories or whatever that I've been seeing? How he lost his eye and stuff like that? What happened to that lady's dad? I think it's her sister. And her dad who died and her sister who's upset about it. Nameless gods. Do I know anything about the nameless gods? I seem to vaguely remember that they were mentioned in the game at some point. Right here. The Amphibian Talon. Right. I think the priestess came in. Somebody came in looking for the Amphibian Talon so they could do their initiation ceremony. And that was this thing over here. Yeah, I'm thinking that if you open some kind of doorway, it's not so much about going through the door as what you're gonna let into our world, dude. But I don't want to curse him. Alright, well, let's look at Babelia and Pit in the book. Babelia. The meaning of the unusual markings on a Babelia is not clear. They resemble a mentic field pattern, but the items themselves do not produce a mentic field. They can be used to aid with translation of foreign texts, although they require some skill to make full use of. This ability does not transfer to spoken language. Okay. And then, what was the other thing? Let's look at a pit. Oh, right. The three different elements that make up a pit allegedly represent the earth, the sun, and death, or darkness. The Draidic, the Diurnic, and the Noctic. These energies balance in such a way that the objects do not produce a recognizable thermic field. They can be directed to emit powerful vibrations capable of cracking solid rock. Alright, that's what he wants. Earth, sun, and death. I'm thinking he should translate that inscription before he starts trying to crack open a rock. That's what I'm thinking. Even though it says it could curse him. I mean, he's got to be used to going into cursed places, being a relic hunter. Maybe if he gets cursed, I can help him cure it. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Babelia. Babelia, however it's pronounced. Mentic field pattern. Okay. Alright, well, let's see what a mentic field pattern looks like. Mentic. Alright, the little one has to go at the bottom. That's what a mentic field pattern looks like. I think I know what object we're looking for. It's this one. This kind of resembles a mentic field pattern. Let's see what else it says about it. It does not produce a mentic field. Alright, well, let's take it down here and see if it produces a field. Nope, that's a diurnic field, so it does not produce a mentic field. Yep, that's the Babelia. The design on the item resembles a mentic field pattern. Thank you. I hope this works. Here's a token of my appreciation, something for you to ponder over. Okay. It has a symbol for fire. It's made of yellow sandstone. And it has another symbol on it that I don't recognize. Wax. Okay, so maybe it's a kind of candle? Magical candle? It's crumbly. Nothing else to say. Alright, well let's add it to our stack of unidentified objects over here. How about here? Alright, let's end day 13 and see what dreams may come. With dreams of earning his fortune long banished from his mind, the man brought the casket to a trusted friend, the curator of a museum in Undermere. Together they looked for answers. Well, that would be my boss Eli's brother is the curator of the museum. Let's trace this pattern and see what we discover. Looks like a sword. Ooh, surrounded by thorns. I am buried with the Knight of Thorns. Oh, Knight of Thorns. Here we go. Referenced in the Shimmer. The Knight of Thorns famously wore a shimmer on his chest plate, but it didn't save him from being slain in the Battle of Sother Fell 1356. So maybe we have to find a grave marked 1356. And that's where the Knight of Thorns is buried. That's it, over here, 1356. I mean, he is next to the casket with the roses on it, but I'm guessing this is him because it's the knight and he's holding a sword. That was it. The tomb of the Knight of Thorns resides alongside an ossuary filled with the unknown dead from the Battle of Sother Fell. It is an unpleasant place that I do not plan to linger in. An ossuary, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Ossuary is where they would pile up bones of the dead. I think after they'd been buried and decayed, and then they would dig the bones back up and then place them in these. Happily, I am able to find the item I came for without any difficulty, and I quickly leave and don't look back until I am out in the bright of the day once more. What did we get? Ooh, that's got the 4 elements. Air, water, fire, and earth. Let's take a look. It's made of stone and gold. It's engraved. A feeling of disquiet lances through my body. Oh, I don't like that. Alright, let's get on with day 14. Oh, Thomas Pope is back. I've noticed that some people claim not to fear death. They say that dying scares them, but not death itself. Not me. Not the great Thomas Pope. Give me pain, give me fear. If I can feel, then I know I'm alive. Going back to the nothingness, that's what I fear. I'm going to do my best to live forever, starting today with a Loam. Yeah, I don't think you want that, dude. It doesn't sound like a good idea. It kind of sounds like a picture of Dorian Gray sort of situation. Sometimes called a hand of Jupiter or a fire palm, a Loam is an item with enticing power, can reverse the signs of aging, but anyone who has played that game knows it can only last for so long before time catches up, and when it does, it hits harder. My cat's name is Jupiter. I don't know if that's any kind of hint. Well, both of these are hands. This one's made of tin. Ooh, tin is the metal of Jupiter, though. Ooh, weathered. Ooh, that's kind of a hint, I think, about aging. Let's look here. Hang on. Yeah, see, tin is the metal of Jupiter. I think this is one of the only things I have that's made out of tin. And it's a palm, a hand. So I'm going to give him this. Correctly identified. This item features a hand in its design. It is made of tin, the planetary metal associated with Jupiter. And it also features a triangle. Right, the symbol for fire. We have more pages. Alright, good luck with that, dude. Let's throw it down here with the identified pendants. Who's next? Agnes Dent. There has been an unexpected death in the family. It has hit us all quite hard, but particularly my husband. I would like to gift him a heart chamber. Oh, those sound kind of creepy to me, but okay. Yeah, see that? I keep looking at... Every time I go to look up a picture of this guy, I have to go to heart chamber. If it's associated with this guy, I don't want anything to do with it. Heart chambers are based on the idea of the wraith chamber. They have morphed over time into a way to keep those dear to us close to heart after death. So what does that mean? Is it going to have a beast on it of some kind? This is a skull, but it looks more like a bird skull to me than the beast in the catacombs. See down here? Maybe this? Gold and bronze. Smooth. Oh, I can open it. I didn't know I could open it. It's got a symbol inside. White paint. I think that is a Wiccan symbol, according to the book. Not necessarily in real life. Yeah, blessings. Oh, that might be it then. Because if a heart chamber is associated with Holgar, and this is the Holgan Grim that they use in their ceremonies, and this has got a similar skull on it. It's a coffin. And I think we even can see Holgar wearing a necklace like this in that picture of him. But when you open it, it has blessings inside. So I'm going to say it's this. I hope I'm right. I don't want to be wrong and start to go insane. I was right. This item appears in the sketch of Holger. It bears a sigil that resembles the Holgan Grim mask. Yes, it does. They didn't mention the blessings inside, though. Edmund Bishop is back. Did you ever work out what that Bishop Square thingy was? I suddenly remembered this note that I found some time ago, and it occurred to me that it might be related. I almost threw it away, but it intrigued me, so I held on to it. Alright, cool, thanks. I haven't a clue what it means. Blessings in spring, rising in autumn. Oh, yeah. Let's go back to the castle. Because see, this is Mars in winter, rising in summer. And this one is blessings in spring, rising in autumn. Blessings in spring. Let's look at our symbols. Is there a symbol for blessings? Blessings. Yes. That's the one we were just looking at inside of the little coffin pendant. Okay, so there's blessings. And if we put them in spring, see there's spring. Rising in autumn. It's this tower right here. The symbols on the map lead me up the winding stair of the North Tower. The pendant has been carefully hidden, but knowing where to look means that it does not take me long, and I am soon on my way back to the shop with a new trinket to add to our growing collection. Ooh, this looks like one of those things you use to roll on your back, to massage your back. A back massager thing. Okay. And that has a check on it, so we can put it in the archive. Let's put this back on the shelf. Does this have a check mark on it? No, I think we still have things to find here. Alright, we'll put it up here with the unidentified objects. Thaddeus White. Oh, that's the curator from the museum. Something isn't right at the museum. I'm worried it's all my fault. I'd hoped my brother would be back by now. I've had an idea, though. I'm no thaumaturge, but I think I can weaken it using witherance. Oh dear me, this had better work. Yeah, but I think we know from our little stories, the stories that we hear at night when we end the day, that Barton, I'm assuming it's Barton Potter, took the evil casket thing to Thaddeus White to keep at the museum. And maybe the evil cannot be contained, and that's what he wants the witherance for. Oh, I wish I could talk to him more about it. Let's look for a witherance. A witherance is the inverse of a fortinance and is sometimes put to more malicious use. These can be crafted from stone like the fortinance, but wood is more commonly used. Let's take a look at the fortinance real quick. Right, it has the symbol for strength on it. The fortinance is this thing here. And that's the symbol for strength. So what would the opposite of that symbol be? Strength. Weakness. Weakness is a triangle with a line through it. Oh, I think I've seen that symbol. Yeah, and this is made of wood, so it's gotta be that. A fortinance is used for strength, the inverse of which is weakness, and this item bears a symbol for weakness, and it's made of wood. We got it. We have more pages. Good luck with that, my dude, but I don't think you're going to be able to contain the evil if you're dealing with that casket. Who's next? Jacob Priestley. My mind is severed. Need mether. Oh wow, dude, you alright? We have an abrasive mether used to purge unwanted memories. I don't know if that's what he wants. And we have a solemn mether. Very powerful. Permits the drinker to forge pathways in the mind to recall that which has been forgotten or repair that which has been broken. That's probably what we're looking for. It will produce a stronger thaumic field than the other two types. Okay. Alright, so these are all the methers here. I'm going to put them down here for now. We're going to take them down to the lens. Come here. Go there. Go there. What? Okay, let's go down. Open up the lens. Okay, I think that one's a much stronger field. Yeah. Much stronger. Alright, so this has got to be our solemn mether, and I'm pretty sure that's the one he wants. We've already identified this one as the restful mether. So this one must be the abrasive mether. Using the index, I can remind myself what a mether looks like. Yeah, I know, they're big cups. It produces a stronger thalamic field than the other methers in my collection. Yes, it did. And we have some more pages for the book. And hopefully he can get himself sorted out. Let's put this one back up here on the shelf. Francesca Robertson is back. I've discovered something via the thalamic needle. The woman who tried to swim across the lake was compelled to do so by some invisible force. Yeah, that's what I suspected. She was looking for something, and whatever it is, it's right here in Undermere. Yeah, she's looking for that casket to unleash hell. That's not all. I decided to experiment with the ambra. When I was under its spell, I heard whispers. Something was calling to me, and it left me feeling terribly afraid. This must be what's keeping my patients in their trance-like state. I've never used a Gaudian siren before, but it occurred to me that I might be able to use it to drown out the whispers. Okay. Gaudian siren. They are similar in form to thalamic needles. Gaudian sirens serve a very different purpose. They create a strong compulsion, like a siren's call, that can be used to divert attention. Now here's a display of Gaudian objects. This has got a similar skull to the skull of this thing here, but if you look in the picture, this is similar to the thalamic needle. This is the thalamic needle, and it's similar in shape to this. And I had already said I thought it might be the Gaudian siren. It takes great effort to tear my eyes away. Yeah, I think that's it. And I'm right. The item appears in the sketch of the cabinet. It's an obelisk shape like the thalamic needle, and closer inspection reveals its attention-demanding power. Yes. Carrick's candle. Oh, I bet Carrick's candle is this thing here that seems like a candle. Okay, so the Gaudian siren has been identified. No longer has a question mark. We can move it over here with these other pendants that have been identified. That's the end of the day, and the only clues I have to fiddle around with are this thing, but I think we gotta wait till we get more information. I don't want to go messing around with this thing without guidance, without something to go on. Alright, let's end the day and see what dreams may come. We're getting close to the end. We only have 3 more days. The curator learned that the Nalian casket is a dark article, a class reserved for the most cursed and the most dangerous of objects. He locked it away deep within the museum's archives, along with other such artifacts that are best kept from public eyes. Let's trace the pattern. It's an axe. I bet it's an axe of that Holgar guy. He had 2 axes, didn't he? Oh, nope. This is just a regular old axe. I am under the barn where the axe meets the tree. I thought maybe it was a reference to Holgar's axes. Because he's got axes here. See? Twin axes, Wolfsong and Fearbringer. But I guess not. Where the axe meets the tree. Under the barn. Where's the Museum of History? 11. It's here. So if he does have the casket locked away, that's where people would be trying to go. The people with the black eyes. But they found that drowned lady. She was compelled to swim across. Maybe she came from the island and was trying to swim across to get to the object here in the museum. Yikes. Okay. Where's the card? Under the barn where the axe meets the tree. Under the barn. Do we have a barn in town? There's a farm here. Greywick Farm. Where the axe meets the tree could be these trees along here. There's a Royston farm, number 30. I don't see a wood there though. Alright, let's double check at Gleaston Castle. I don't think they have a barn. But there are trees down here. Yeah. No barn at the castle. And I doubt that it's in the catacombs. So I'm guessing it's this here, which is roughly axe-shaped. I'm wasting my time here. Nope. Okay. Oh no. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of insanity. The scent of damp hay lingers in the air as crows pick at the muddy ground between weathered stone barns. The farmer lifts his gaze briefly, offering little more than a nod before turning back to his work. I don't think I'll find anything useful here. Okay. Well, how about this other farm? Nope. Royston Farm is as warm and welcoming as its owner, John. He greets me with a grin and a handshake, always eager to share a story or two about the land. I ask him to let me know if he ever finds anything unusual and leave him to his business. Well, that wasn't it. Well, if it's not in the farms, under barns. Oh, there's Woodcutter's Lane. Pine Road, where the axe meets the tree. Do they mean here? The boat or their stocks are. Oh, they've got to mean here. Where Woodcutter's Lane meets the Pine Road. That was it. To the side of the house sits a dilapidated barn. The stench of manure is overpowering. There is no sign of an owner, so I search carefully, not sure exactly what I'm looking for. Suddenly I spy a flash of blue. A bottle. This is it. Ooh. That's pretty. Blue painted porcelain. Cool and smooth. It gives off a scent like that of a brewing storm. Oh, I bet this is one of those Zephyr things. Zephyrim. The vapors are inhaled. Yeah, it has the scent of a storm. Thanks for keeping me company while I played Strange Antiquities. If you like the objects you see in this game, you just might like my website in real life. Check out junkwitch.com. I do plan on continuing to play this game, and I hope you'll join me in the next episode. I want to especially thank those of you who support the channel. I'm a small channel, so every little bit of support I can get really does help me. My channel members, those of you who like, subscribe, leave comments, all of those things help the channel, and I appreciate it so much. Take care of yourself until next time. Bye!